While Hannah was watching a video with Madeleine, Anna arrived. They had bought the video the day before. At the moment, they are eating pizza and they are having great fun. The three girls meet every week. They hope they will go to the cinema next Sunday. What's the video about? Tenses, tenses, tenses. In this video, we repeat all the important tenses you hopefully already know. Here we go. First of all, we start with an overview and we start in the present. In the present, you already know the simple present and the present progressive tense. Then we go back in time into the past. In the past, you already know the simple past and the past progressive tense. And you already know, hopefully, the past perfect tense. Then, let's go back to the future. In the future, there are two major tenses, and you can also express the future with the two present tenses. There is the will future and the going to future, and there are cases when you can use the simple present for future events and the present progressive tense. Then there is a mixture between present and past. These are probably the most difficult tenses as there is no similar tense in German. And this is the present perfect simple and the present perfect progressive tense. Many tenses, and we start in the present with the simple present tense. Here is the usage. When you want to express events in the present tense that happen, and here you can see the signal words already, regularly, often, never, sometimes, usually, always, every week, every Sunday, then you use the simple present tense. As you've already seen, you can also use the simple present tense for future events, but we'll see this later in the video. This video is going to be longer. So if you want to know when you use the simple present for future events, jump into the section for future events. But now it's time to watch some examples for the simple present tense. Here we go. Lupita meets her boyfriend Leon every day. They are deeply in love. They often meet at the park. Helena is Leon's sister. Magdalena doesn't like Juliana's boyfriend. That is not so nice. She never talks with her about him. They usually don't go out in the evenings. Well, as you can see in the red color, remember, he, she, it, the S must fit. So put an S at the end of the verb with the pronouns he, she, or it. You form negative forms with don't, do not as long form and doesn't, does not with he, she, it. And there is a special form with the verb to be. I am not, you are, you aren't, they are, they aren't, and he, she, it is, isn't, long form, is not. Then let's jump to the present progressive tense. When do you use the present progressive? Here we go. You use the present progressive when you want to talk about events that are happening at the moment You are speaking. I am talking to you now. You are watching the video at the moment. Signal words now, at the moment, or today. You normally never watch videos, but today you are watching this video. There are more examples about the present progressive, and here we go. Mona is watching a movie with Kevin now. They aren't visiting their friend Steffi at the moment. I am not doing anything today. Today I'm not doing anything, Bruno Mars. Amelie and Ellie are staying at Helga's house right now. Erjona isn't reading a book at the moment. Formation. How do you form the present progressive tense? There is am not, is, isn't, are, aren't, plus the verb with the ending ing, verbing. Compare. I've already used one example, and here is a comparison between the two present tenses. Katharina visits her boyfriend Daniel every weekend. And now there's the exception, but today she is staying at home. Anna isn't dancing with Leon at the moment because she doesn't like this song. Johanna usually stays at Justin's house, and now the difference from the regular action, but today they are having a great time at Emilia's party. So, if you compare the two tenses, you often use the present progressive tense when there is a difference between actions you normally, regularly, ever, always, sometimes do. And difference is expressed with the present progressive tense. Now let's go back to the simple past. When do you use the simple past? Here we go. If you want to talk about events that took place once or regularly in the past, in the sense of a series of events that are completed, that's the main thing. The actions, the events are over. Then you use the simple past. There is no link to the present. They are finished, the events. Signal words. Yesterday, 2 days ago, last weekend, last Friday night, Katy Perry, in 2023, and so on. The important thing is the events are completed in the past and there is no link to the present. Examples. Jana watched a film with Magdalena yesterday. All my troubles seemed so far away. It wasn't great. They didn't like it very much. Clara went to Laura and Paula 2 days ago. The girls bought some sweets and ate them. Laura was very happy about the chocolate. How do you form the simple past? If you look at watched, there is a regular form, verb plus ed, and there are irregular forms like went, bought, ate, and you have to learn them by heart. There are negatives, and then you use didn't. There is no difference between he, she, it and the other pronouns. There is only one form, and that's didn't. But there are special forms of to be, like in the present tense. He, she, it, was, wasn't, and the other pronouns were, weren't. I wasn't, he, she, it wasn't, you, we, they weren't. When do you use the past progressive tense? Let's dive in. You use the past progressive when you want to talk about events that are completed in the past, the same thing as in the simple past tense, and therefore they have no connection to the present, and they took place over a longer period of time. Imagine that's like a background story, a background action that was happening over a longer period of time, or the action took place at a specific time in the past. At this time, yesterday all afternoon, last Friday 4 hours, and so on. These are the signal words. Now, here are the examples for the past progressive tense. Here is Steffi again. Steffi was talking to her boyfriend Marco at this time yesterday. Amelie was staying at Peter's house all afternoon last Sunday. They weren't spending time with their friend because Helga was sleeping all day long. Helga is always tired. Formation. It's similar to the present progressive tense with another form of to be, because there is was, wasn't, were, weren't, plus the verb with the ending ing, verbing. And again, there is a comparison. Let's compare the two past tenses, and then hopefully it gets clearer when you use the simple past and when you use the past progressive tense. While Hannah was dancing with Tom, Madeleine called her last Friday. Was dancing is the longer action. This is interrupted by a short action, Madeleine called. When Anna arrived at the party, Katharina was talking to Lucas happily. Katharina was talking to Lucas happily is the longer, the background action, because Katharina, maybe she's in love with Lucas, and Anna interrupts the longer action, the short action, and that's the simple past. Signal words: while, past progressive, when, simple past. There are always two parts. The part with while is the past progressive tense. The part with when is the simple past tense. And the good thing is, while and when never occur in the same sentence. Now, let's go back in time into the past. And here is the past perfect tense. If you want to say that an event took place before another event in the past, then use the past perfect. It is like a pre-past because the earlier time is being stressed. You want to say that something happened before another action in the past. The simple past often occurs in a sentence with the past perfect, like a comparison. Signal words. There is after in the part with the past perfect and before in the part with the simple past. Hopefully it gets clearer when we watch the examples. And here they are, with the past perfect in comparison with the simple past. It starts with the signal word. After Sophie had danced with Tim, he gave her a kiss. So first, Sophie danced with Tim, and then he was so happy that he gave her a kiss later. Before Leah could visit Franz, he had already gone out with Lena. So first, Franz had already gone out with Lena, and then Leah couldn't visit him anymore. Sepp was happy after Anna had given him her number. The first action was Anna gave him his number, and then Franz was happy. Lucy hadn't been at home when Justin arrived at her house because she had gone out earlier. Formation, we have had, hadn't, the simple past form of have, plus the past participle, the third form of the verb. Give, gave, given, go, went, gone, be, was, were, been, and so on. Now, we leave the past, we jump back to the future. Let's talk about the future tenses. And one tense in the future is the will future. Here we go. The future with will is used when you want to talk about spontaneous decisions that are made at the moment of speaking, or about predictions of future events that are not influenced by a plan. Wow, what a sentence. Signal words: I think, I hope, I'm sure, perhaps, later, soon, tomorrow, or something with next. The main thing is the events are not influenced by a plan, like a spontaneous decision. Here are some examples. Ariona thinks she will go to Paula's party. Paula hopes that Kevin will come too. Clara is sure that Justin won't be there tomorrow. Perhaps the girls will go to the disco later. As you see here, these are not planned events. These are spontaneous decisions. Formation, we have will not, short form won't, plus the infinitive. Now, another future tense you might have already heard of, hopefully, is the going to future. Here we go. The going to future is used when you want to talk about plans or intentions from the speaker's point of view that have already been made, or when there are indications or external signs that something is going to happen. Look at the dark clouds. It's going to happen. It's going to rain. There are external signs. When talking about plans, you can often use the present progressive to mean the same thing. Often there is no difference. You can use either the going to future or the present progressive tense. Signal words: tomorrow, next, week, month, year. Look at the dark clouds. It is going to rain soon. Standard example. And there are more examples for the going to future. And there is no difference very often in meaning between the going to future and the present progressive tense. Jana is going to visit Magdalena, or Jana is visiting Magdalena next Friday. There is no difference. Helena and Juliana aren't going to meet. Helena and Julia aren't meeting Ben and Joseph next Saturday. I am going to go, or I'm going to the party tomorrow. Look at the dark clouds. Here it is. It is going to rain soon. In this case, if there are external signs, I would always use the going to future and not the present progressive tense. Formation. You can use am, is, are, am, not, isn't, aren't, plus going to, plus the infinitive. And then you can also use the simple present tense for future events. For certain events, you can also use the simple present for future events. These are events if they are schedules, timetables, or events that are fixed and certain, like an airplane leaving, a bus arriving, some train plan. Often there are time specifications to the minute. The train leaves at 8:34 tomorrow. The lesson starts at 8:15 Friday evening. Her flight arrives at noon. Noon is 12 o'clock. Next Sunday. The simple present is only used in these cases when it's a very exact date, when there is a timetable or a schedule. Now let's talk about the present perfect simple, and this might be the most difficult tense for Germans, as there is no similar tense in German. You can use the present perfect simple if you want to describe actions that took place at an unspecific time in the past and are relevant to the present, or for actions that began in the past and continue into the present. It is always important that the actions lead to a result in the present. Signal words: yet or not yet, ever, never, already, just, and so on. Hopefully it gets clearer when you watch some examples. So the action starts in the past, somewhere, is just finished, or there is a result that's important in the present. In contrast to the simple past, the action is not completed in the past. Leon has just given Emilia a kiss. Now she is happy. Hoo-hoo. That's the result in the present. Have you ever seen a flying elephant? Somewhere starting in the past, it's up to now, and the action still goes on. Anna hasn't cleaned her dad's car yet, and the result in the present is, now he is angry. Helga and Lena have already watched the film 3 times. The action is not over, maybe they will watch it a 4th and a 5th time somewhere in the future. Formation. You have a form of to have. Has, hasn't, have, haven't, plus past participle, the 3rd form of the verb. Regular formation, infinitive plus ed, and irregular verb forms, you have to learn them by heart. Now, compare present perfect simple or simple past. Lena tidied up her room yesterday. The action is completed in the past. Here we have the simple past. There is no link to the present and there is no result to the present. Today, the room might already be a mess again. So, simple past, finished event in the past. Lena has just tidied up her room. Now it is clean. That's the result in the present. Present perfect simple. It is not clear when the event started, but it's important that there is a result in the present. The room is clean now. And in the case with the simple past, the room might already be dirty again, but the action happened in the past and was completed in the past. No link to the present. That's the difference. And there is also the present perfect progressive tense. Here we go. You can use the present perfect progressive if you want to describe actions that took place at an unspecified time in the past and are relevant to the present, or for actions that began in the past and continue into the present. That's the same thing as with the present perfect simple tense. But there is a difference. Not the result in the present is important, but the duration of the event. There are 2 main signal words. Since for a certain point of time in the past, since last May, since last Sunday, and for a certain period of time in the past, 4 hours, 4 months. Here are the examples for the present perfect progressive tense, and we are almost at the end of the video. Hannah has been dancing with Tim for 2 hours. The duration is important, not the result that their feet might probably hurt. Madeleine hasn't been playing tennis with Alina since last Monday. Emilia has been sleeping 4 hours. The girls haven't been reading a book since last year. So, the important thing is the duration of the event, not that there is a result at the present. Formation, we have has, hasn't, have, haven't, plus been, be was verb been, third form of to be, plus the verb with the ending ing. And finally, there is a comparison between the present perfect simple tense and the present perfect progressive tense, to make it clearer when you use the one or the other tense. Mona has already washed her dad's car. Now it is clean. It doesn't matter how long it took to clean it, but the result in the present is important. Now the car is clean. Present perfect simple, the event started in the past, has just finished. The car is still wet. And the duration, how long Mona took to clean it, is not important, but the result in the present, finally the car is clean. In contrast to, Mona has been washing her dad's car for 2 hours. Full stop. Maybe the car is clean, maybe she is just working on it, because the result is not important, just the duration, 2 hours. Present perfect progressive, it is not important if she has finished her task and if there is a result in the present. It's important how long she has been doing the task. That's the main thing. And you have since for a certain point of time in the past and for a period of time. Now, summary. Congratulations. You almost watched the video until the end, and here again is the overview of the tenses I've been talking about for the last 30 minutes, probably. In the present, we have the simple present and the present progressive. In the past, there is the simple past, the past progressive, the past perfect tense. In the future, there is the will future, the going to future. You can also use the present progressive, similar to the going to future, and there are some cases, timetables, schedules, when you can use the simple present tense. And to difficult tenses, it's a mixture between present and past, the present perfect simple and the present perfect progressive tense. Das war's. Ein langes Video zur Wiederholung der ganzen Zeiten. Ich hoffe, das Video war hilfreich und nützlich. Wenn es dir gefallen hat, Daumen hoch. Wenn du sagst, zu lang, langweilig, Daumen nach unten. Ansonsten sage es allen weiter. Lass gerne einen Kommentar da oder Fragen unter dem Video. Wenn du üben möchtest, findest du natürlich Übungen zu jeder einzelnen Zeit und auch zu den Vergleichen in der Grammarbox. www.grammarbox.de. Noch mehr Übungen im English Grammar Workbook. Ein Video dazu findest du oben angepinnt. In diesem Sinne, danke fürs Zusehen, bis zum nächsten Mal und ciao for now.